we gotta talk. I have a really tough choice to make. A choice that's gonna hurt me and might piss you guys off. Let me explain. Now, as you can probably tell, there's a theme here at GTE, and that's supercars, especially crazy modified ones that do crazy, crazy things. And there's one car in the fleet that honestly doesn't really belong. Now, over the years, we've built a pretty diverse collection of supercars. We have Lamborghinis, we have Ferraris, we have McLarens, even a Dodge Caravan that you guys all seem to really love. Now, there's clearly fan favorites, including this SVJ, which is currently waiting for a transmission that's lost. That's a whole other issue. We have lots of issues. You guys have spoken clearly that the SVJ is probably the fan favorite. It's done 2 gumballs, tons of road trips together with Damon and I. It's been broken, it's been fixed, it's been broken. Then we have the Senna with a crazy livery thanks to Protective Film Solutions. Wild car, now dialed in. Damon's KB43 tire slayer with the handbrake, with the pull shift. These all make sense. They all work really good on the channel. We have my McLaren race car, we have that Caravan GT, and my gold Squadra Corsa. There's a car over here that technically shouldn't be on the channel. And you've seen the title and thumbnail, you probably know what I'm talking about. And that's my big, gorgeous black Bentley, currently here in Tim's office. Now, why is it in this room right now and not over in that room? Well, it's kind of like symbolism for a car that doesn't belong without a key element. So here's the issue with my dream Bentley build. The body kit's like $82,000 to install it. I talked to a few body shops we've worked with, about 30 grand. $110,000 for a kit for a car that's honestly kind of pointless. But please don't take this as I'm pulling the plug because I don't want to do it. I want to build this car. In fact, I am so excited and heartbroken in the fact that it might not happen. Because when I bought this car, when I started this dream build, we never had this building. And this building has turned out to be very, very expensive. When this building came up for grabs, we had 4 weeks to make a decision. I'd already purchased the Bentley, I was down that path, and we added all these expensive costs. In fact, really from our old building to this building, we've 10x'd our expenses, we've hired a new mechanic, we've added all these things on to build the crazy cars, to do the crazy things, and it sucked up a lot of money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars with new expenses each and every month. In fact, I just got a surprise bill for the electrical company, 10 grand, because there's a deposit. So I'm Canadian, and I don't belong here. So it cost me more money. As a result of that, the Bentley project, well, it's not happening. A few years ago, it was just Damon, myself, and Jamie up in Canada making videos, hanging out at gas stations. Now we have things like server racks. I never dreamed of server racks, but guess what? You wanna grow your business, you wanna get bigger, you wanna do the crazy shit, it takes infrastructure. And again, that all takes money. So ever since I bought this car, all I've pretty much done is I lowered it, did the blackout package with Protective Film Solutions, then I drive it from the shop to the hotel because it's comfortable. But I have a $70,000 down payment on this car, and the payment's $3,000 a month. I can't justify this car unless it's being built. And the only way this car works for the channel is the GT3 kit. So my options right now are very tough. Do I sell the car, bring it back to August, get rid of it, buy something else, or take the cash, just put it back in the bank?
Dude, there's no way. We can't let Dave sell this car. He loves
he's gotta
this
keep
thing.
it, yeah.
Like, honestly, I think it's his favorite car that he's ever owned. He loves his gold Lambo, but dude, that's so Dave. Let's go look at the car.
We gotta see what we can do to this thing.
So the Bentley is not very DDE right now. Obviously, Dave's got big dreams for this car. He wants to do the factory race car body kit, but it's expensive. I know how much Dave loves this car. I think there's some stuff that we can do to it. Kind of like we did on the Murcielago for Damon, because that was Damon's like dream build for a long time. We made a splitter, we made the dive planes, we mounted a wing, a rear diffuser, rain light, fog lights, all these kind of cool accents to kind of create his vision, and I think it turned out great. And I think we can kind of do the same thing on Dave's car. I think we need to get some stuff done today on this car, so when he gets back, he'll see this transformation a bit. He'll kind of get an idea of what we can do, because nobody's done anything like this before. This is a Bentley. People aren't modding Bentleys. When this thing gets the real body kit on it, which we will get one day if Dave doesn't sell this car, it's gonna be absolutely insane. But I feel like we need to step it up. We need to get to that level 1 or level 2 of the build, make it look like DDE. Let's get it in the shop, take a look at it and see what we have and see what we can get done right now. Just driving this car from one side of the shop, it's hard to beat. This thing is so comfortable. The interior is absolutely amazing in this car. I don't want to touch any of that. I don't want to do Sparko race seats in this car or any of the other interior mods. The steering wheel is rad, like everything is good. It's the outside that needs some work. It's the sound that needs some work. It's the power that needs some work. So let's see what we have here and what we can get done. Kind of just get this thing transformed visually. Oh, you know what? I have nitrous. Nitrous on a Bentley, dude, it's DDE.
Hey, do you guys have the key?
I don't. The keys to this? I didn't move it. I didn't move it. Is it doors are locked?
It's locked. It's locked.
This side's locked. Oh, man.
It's not in the car.
Well, you know what, guys? You don't have to ever worry about losing your car keys again thanks to Car Keys Express. All you need is a picture of your key. You don't ever have to leave your home. They will cut a key for you. They will reprogram the key to make the alarm system work. You don't have to worry about it. It's super easy. Their Snap Key service lets you make car keys with your phone. All you have to do is take a photo of your key and a new key is cut and shipped to you along with their do-it-yourself installer to quickly and easily make it work with your car. It's easy enough for anyone to use. You don't have to go to the dealership and you can save up to 75% of what the dealership would charge you for one key replacement. Or if you would rather have an expert do it for you, they can supply that person to you as well, so you don't have to worry about it. Car Keys Express technicians cut keys in thousands of neighborhoods across the US. Just schedule an appointment to have a fully trained expert cut and pair your keys for you. So if you guys need a new car key, just go to Car Keys Express, link in the description below to get an extra 10% off. I'm actually gonna go hit the guys up right now at Car Keys Express because looks like we need a new key for Dave's Squadra Corsa and we need it before he gets back. Luckily these guys are quick. What else can we do?
We still have some leftover carbon.
I wanna grab that piece so we can see if it's big enough to do a front splitter. It doesn't need to stick out on the sides, like it can come and kind of taper in here. Okay. Hold that corner up like to the bottom of the bumper. So I'm sticking out at the edge about a ½ inch. So I think that's just big enough. Because we can have this kind of come squared off here and then have that, you know, couple inches out of the front. Dive planes, the dive planes are actually really small. Also, as you guys know, those things take a lot of time to make. I think I spent 6 hours on the ones for the Mercy. I think we're gonna hold off on those. Splitter, I think we can do in a couple hours. We can get that knocked out. I think it's gonna add a lot. And looking at that race car with the number 7 on the grill, I feel like we need Dave's number 33 on the grill. I think we should do it in gold.
You should. Gold would be cool.
I think that would add a lot to the car and just kind of make it Dave's car. That's something else we can do. So we got that, we got the front splitter, we got nitrous. We've only got one day really to get this done. I think those 3 things we can get today. The nitrous is gonna be big, but it's also gonna be about where we put that nitrous bottle. Let me go grab that stuff right now. I know it's kind of weird, you know, I just randomly have nitrous stuff laying around. This stuff I had ordered a while back when I was gonna use this on my F30 drift car. This box full of fittings, bunch of nitrous solenoid, obviously way more than we're gonna need, because you never know when you're gonna need it, and when you need it now. I need NOS tonight, 2 bottles. This is the coolest part. I didn't want the basic nitrous bottle. The Bentley needs something extra cool. We have a carbon fiber nitrous bottle here. I think it's gonna look really good, and I have an idea of where we can put this thing. Very DDE. Just yank it. Oh. No, two, that was too yanked. 2 yanks. We're taking it out anyway.
Yeah.
Now we're definitely taking it out.
How does that come out? Is it clipped?
You're the Bentley tech.
So, now that we have that panel out of the way, we do have quite a bit of room back here for the bottle. I think this originally, in most cars, I think it would be for skis, but since this is a Bentley, it's probably for golf clubs. That looks like about the right size opening, but I don't want to mount it this way. I want to mount it like this.
Oh, that's Dave right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just like front and center. And literally when Dave looks in the rear view mirror, all he's gonna see is not the cars behind him, because that doesn't matter. The nitrous bottle. That's what really matters. Now that I know where I want to put the bottle, I gotta figure out how to make brackets. I don't want to cut this. I don't want to modify this at all. Some old corn nuts back here, some cup holders. I want to leave all this stuff because at the end of the day, it's a Bentley. If you're sitting back here, it's nice, it's comfortable. It actually doesn't really interfere with the back seat at all. But everybody that jumps in the car is gonna know that this thing means business. So before I start making the brackets for the nitrous bottle, I'm gonna get Tim started on the front end with this splitter. Put up against the car, get some tape on there so we can draw out the shape, and then he can get working on that, tag team this thing, get this knocked out as soon as possible, because we really only have today to convince Dave that he needs to keep this car. By the end of the day, splitter, nitrous, 33 across the front grille. I've got an idea for the nitrous purge, which I think is gonna be really cool. So stay tuned for that, because that's gonna be pretty unique, and I think that's gonna add a ton to this car. Probably gonna have to get some more bottles of nitrous for Dave, because I feel like he's gonna go through it pretty fast.
All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well, a penny for yourself, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy, the riches got a mad at son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me, but known for my city like OAGs. Set the pace as long as you finish, consumers.
Tim and Steven are gonna get that front splitter piece mocked up. I took a minute, I got on my computer and I ordered some downpipes for the GT. I put them on Dave's credit card. The good thing is that he's not very good with money, so he probably won't even see the charge until after he sees the car. I hope that's what happens, because otherwise I'm gonna get a phone call and be like, dude, what are you spending money on? Hopefully that's not the case. Still have my Mercy front splitter tool, which was just a block of wood with a V-cut at 3 inches. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this car and see how it looks. I think it's gonna look about right, about that much sticking out of the front of the car. That looks good, it looks aggressive, but it's not insane. If we did a crazy splitter on this thing, it just wouldn't match with everything else that's going on the car right now, body-wise. We'll try this 3-inch out, see how that looks, shorten it or lengthen it as we need, but I think this is gonna work. I think that looks pretty good. So we're gonna pull it off the car now, and these sharp edges here, I'll find something and do like a big radius on it so it doesn't have a sharp point here or here, so we'll smooth those out. But as far as the outline, the main shape goes, I think that's gonna look really good, and I think it's gonna add a ton to the front of this car.
If I remember correctly, this is the only carbon fiber piece we have, right?
That's all we got. So it is just big enough for what we wanna do here. And I might actually use these bend pack lift pucks for cars with the unibody. They might actually work really well for putting up here and getting a bit of radius on that thing. What do you think? Bigger radius than that, or
That's good.
tight? Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too. I think if we do too much of radius, it might look kind of weird on the edges and get too narrow. Cool, I will do that. I'll do this one and then the other side, and then you can get to it and start cutting it out.
That's a clean cut, Tim.
It is. I still gotta cut the corners and cut the round edge on this one.
Right.
And then I'll sand it down and make it smoother and flat. Yeah, it came out pretty good. I just followed the line. Try to stay on the outside more so we have extra room to work with.
Where'd you get these steady hands from?
I don't know. They're not that steady. Now I just need to clean up the edges a little bit because we got some sharp edges and it's not super flat yet. And then we're also gonna put a rubber strip on it so it'll finish it off. I think that's center.
How'd you gauge that?
Well, you know, yeah.
Tim told me it was a straight. I wanna hear from you.
Straight-ish. I think the shape looks good. I think it flows with the car well. Front splitters just make everything look more aggressive. So I'm happy with the way it's coming out. Now the difficult part is figuring out where all of the screw holes are underneath on the bottom of this bumper, transferring over those screw holes into this and drilling them all out. When I was in high school, I absolutely hated math, and now I use math all day, every day. When it has a purpose, it means something to me. I can make it happen. I used a square off of here, measured how far back the holes were, made a mark, measured that distance, plus the 3 inches that we had sticking out of here. That's our 3 inches, that's the distance back. And then the distance between the two holes, 219 millimeters, that's marked out. It looks good, so I'm gonna have the guys drill those two holes, see if that lines up, bolts in place, and everything else looks good. If it does, then we'll just continue on and keep marking those holes in the same fashion. Hope I got it right, because this is the only piece of carbon we have to make a splitter out of. We get one shot.
A little bit the size of the bolts. We can try bolting this thing up. Hopefully it lines up. When it's threaded.
Lined up.
Yeah, the two holes are lined up. Let's see if the splitter is lined up. Good on that side, Steve?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Math.
I told you my finger was right. Look at this. The line is lined up to the line.
Front splitter hole drilling went well, so I'll mark the rest of that out in a minute. I got the brackets ready to cut out on the plasma table, so I'm going to cut those out right now, hand them off to Tim, and he's gonna sand them down, get them all ready so we can bend them up and get them in the car.
Gotta clean it up a little bit, clean up the edges so they're not all rough. This machine cuts really clean, but there's still a little bit of like how the plasma cuts through. But clean it up, make it look nice and not be able to cut people.
We need to bend them up get them to fit. The idea is basically there's that box, so this is gonna go on one side, this is gonna go on the other side, and these are gonna be bent in, and then here we're gonna have some clamps so we can clamp the bottle down. Should work well. Took a few like really rough measurements inside the car, so hopefully it'll work because we're running out of time and we've got a lot of stuff left to do. Yeah, I think these are looking pretty good. Mark this out and drill a couple small holes, put some Clecos in it to hold them in place, and then make sure the bottle sits where I want it to, because right now I can kind of push these back a bit or have it come out. My only concern is where the hose comes out is really close to here, so I want to get the bottle up slightly so the hose can come out and come down and not just like dig into this leather here. So far it's coming along. So I'll probably just take the bottle, clamp these onto the bottle, and that'll give me a little better idea, because trying to hold all these things in place and figure out where they go is tough.
That looks ridiculous, Mike.
I like it. Yeah, I've got about 6 inches of room up here for the hose to come out and come down. Yeah, placement is good. So now I'm just going to mark out the holes, drill them out, bolt this thing in.
Didn't we say we're not going to drill anything in the beginning of the video?
Well, some things have to be drilled. This console is one of them.
You think Dave's gonna be cool with all this?
I hope so. He's like, dude, I didn't want to do this stuff. I wanted to sell it. Yeah. Sorry, Dave.
Too bad, man. We took out your trim. We drilled holes. You're done, man.
He left the keys here, and it's going down. So I hope he likes it. Well, that didn't really do much.
Yeah, you think like this would open up or something, right?
It's pretty packed. Like everything in this engine bay actually reminds me a lot of my AMG GT, which is a 4-liter V8, center turbos, and very complex and very tight packaging. This is gonna take a bit of time as well, trying to get the nitrous, both the nitrous foggers in place in the right spots. Enough about that. That's just gonna be tedious and time consuming. The exciting thing that we're gonna do is I wanna put the purge out of the front grille. I don't want it to come out of the hood. I want it to be out of the front, and I'm gonna see if I can get it to kind of shoot like out like in a V shape, so it's kind of shooting out the front of the car, kind of like you'd imagine like a bull when it's angry and you see like the steam coming out of its nose. I want to get that kind of look going on here. I think this thing looks like it's just a big, massive thing, and I think that would be hilarious. If I can figure out a way to plumb the solenoid to the front, run some tubing up here, and get it spraying in the right direction, I think that's gonna add a ton, and I think Dave's gonna love it because, well, it's Dave. He likes those kinds of things.
Steve, how many things are you taking out this car?
That's it.
You swear?
It's right there. Now we're exposed. Okay. You can go inside.
Okay. Yeah. Because you've been out here for a while. You were taking this thing apart.
I was taking a lot of stuff off. We're exposed now.
Steve is in the car currently running the main nitrous hose, which goes from the tank to the front of the car where we put the solenoids. I'm working on the purge because really, I think that's gonna be Dave's favorite part. The nitrous is gonna be cool. It's gonna be a lot faster, which is great, but Dave likes to show off. This is the key to doing that. So I made this little bracket here. This is gonna go behind the grill, and then these guys are gonna point right next to the grill but not stick out. I've got some Teflon line here with some push lock fittings, and this will go into the purge solenoid. So when the purge goes off, it'll go through these lines and run to the front of the car. These are going to be zip tied onto here and spray the nitrous out the front grill. I think it's gonna look really sick. I've wanted to do something like this for a long time. I honestly love nitrous purge. Okay, cool. So that's how much we have. I think that's just enough, and then we can hide the solenoids in here in this pocket. I think that'll work. Just enough line. Yeah, the short lines will go into the intakes, and then we'll run the plastic lines, the Teflon lines up to the front for the purge. This thing's coming together.
Steve, how many cars at the dealership did you install nitrous on?
0.
First time. It's cool though.
I used to put nitrous in a lot of Civics back in the day. Late 90s, early 2000s, it was like, obviously when Fast and Furious came out, all of my customers, probably 90% of them were Honda owners. So we'd, sometimes do motor swaps, turbo kits, and yeah, the number one thing was nitrous kits out of my dad's garage. Easy way to make, $100 or $150 or whatever I was charging back then. It was cheap. It was really cheap.
Now, is this your first one in the Bentley?
This is my first ever Bentley with nitrous. Yeah. The minivan. That was probably the most ridiculous one we've ever put nitrous on. But Yeah, I'm excited for this because twin turbo V8, obviously with the turbos you get a hot intake charge and the nitrous really cools it off. So I think we're gonna pick up some good power here. But like I said, I'm most excited for that purge. I didn't want to go as far as drilling any holes in the leather, beautiful Bentley dashboard in Dave's car. So what I decided to do was, for now, I'll let him make the decision of where he wants the buttons and all that. But I got to get this working. So I got the power switch here. So we've got the on and off, and then we've got the purge switch here. The rest of it is controlled by the throttle. So when you go full throttle, when it's on, the nitrous kicks on. So you're not gonna have like a button to actually engage it. So that's just gonna get tucked in here. Nice, clean, out of the way. I imagine Dave will be driving like this with his finger on the button the whole time. That's fine, that's why it's there. So I finished tucking these wires. Steven's got the nitrous main line ran from the back where the bottle is to the front where the solenoid's gonna be. As soon as we get this line run in there, we can button up everything in the interior, do a little wiring up front and finish all that stuff. And hopefully Tim gets back soon with the rest of the parts we need.
Oh yeah, Tim's still out there, huh?
He's still gone.
Who opened the gate?
Nobody. It was open?
Yeah, it opened by itself. I was just sitting there. I thought somebody opened the gate.
Did you open it?
I didn't open it, I don't even have nowhere to go.
What the heck? That's crazy. Anyways, I was stuck in traffic.
Oh, gotcha.
But I got the supplies.
Let's see.
Hold on, hold on. Wait, don't look yet.
Okay, okay.
Hold on. I got chrome gold.
Chrome gold.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
But since I don't know if that's gonna work very well, I also got glitter.
Okay, yeah.
So
Can't go
between
wrong
the
with
two, it should turn out gold.
And
And
that?
some masking paper so we don't get it all over the car.
Gotcha, especially glitter, huh?
Just us. Mike, what do you want, chrome or glitter?
Oof. Chrome is dope, but I don't know how it's gonna turn out
That's what I was worried
on
about.
the grill. We'll have to do some tests. We'll do some samples.
Maybe some glitter on the chrome.
Ooh. All right, so we got the hose in here and brackets. And we're looking good. Nice. I want to powder coat these brackets, but obviously that takes time. So I'm gonna leave them for now. Leave them just aluminum. Actually, it doesn't look terrible, but eventually we will pull them back out and powder coat them. I'm gonna bolt this in. We can start getting all the interior pieces back together. We can get the front splitter on and finish up the nitrous wiring and stuff, and we good to go pretty soon. I'm stoked. I'm making a, what you would call a dirty finger template. So basically just using my dirty fingers to press on the outline of his graphics here, because I want to copy this style. I want to have the same 33 on that front grille. I don't have this font. I don't know what it is. I could call PFS and have them send it over to me, but I'm trying to get this done really quickly. This is working, so I'm going to be able to get this transferred over to this piece of paper, make a stencil to be able to paint front grille. I learned it from somebody years and years ago, and it comes in so handy. Like, this is obviously before we had 3D scanners and all that kind of stuff. So you take, like, you know, whatever part you wanted to copy, the flange or whatever, and just get a piece of paper, push around, you get that edge, you get the circles and everything, and then you mark it out on a piece of metal and you cut it out. I think I'm just going to cut this out with a razor blade and make a paper template. Paper might actually hold its shape even better on that grill and give us a tighter lines, because I don't want a bunch of, like, you know, overspray and stuff. So with this all dialed in, I'll cut it out of a thin piece of cardboard. One cut out. I've got some markers here and a pencil line, which you probably can't see because it's super faint. Now I can move this over here, cut that out, and we'll have a stencil.
All right, that should be it. How does it look?
Oh, that actually looks pretty killer.
It's pretty aggressive.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Good.
Looks really good.
Yeah, it's like, it's just what that needed in the front end. It's like not crazy, because obviously the rest of the body is still stock, but I think that adds a lot. And I'm just about ready to paint the front grille. This is gonna look, it's gonna look wild with a giant 33 on the grill. All right, so I'm gonna set that stencil up, get it all lined up, and spray some gold chrome spray paint on this thing. Sprayed a little test piece back here. Gintani test piece.
Oh, okay.
Oh, looks cool.
Yeah.
You going for that McLaren half fade MSO design,
Yeah,
huh?
right, yeah, a little fade, gold to black.
Very cool.
So that's the limited edition Gintani plate right there.
We'll be on the site soon.
One off. All right, I've seen guys paint cars a few times before. That was a lot of work though. It's like all convex, so the center, it's wrapped this way and around, and then with all the grates, it was tricky. Had to put little pieces of tape on the backside to keep those to stay. But I think that's pretty good. I don't think it's gonna get any better than that. Ready to paint this thing. always like a balance when you're doing stencil painting. Don't do too much or it starts to bleed around the edges, but do enough so it looks good and you can tell what it says. And I hope we're gonna get it right, because with that hand cut stencil, I can't do it twice. Let it dry for a few minutes. I pull all the masking paper and stuff off, and hopefully it looks killer. It looks good right now. The idea is good, and I hope it turns out good. All right, moment of truth.
Yeah, I didn't even paint this thing. I'm kind of worried. I think we need to take that back piece out.
Yeah, we need to take the back piece out, but I don't know, the threes, there's just no definition in them. Like, yeah, it oversprayed a bit. This line is pretty good here, but that center is good. But yeah, around here, like they're so small. Yeah, that's, you know, because I know they're threes, I can see that they're threes, but it's not. There's not enough definition.
Yeah, it looks like a Dodge logo, the two slats.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I think we're gonna have to go backwards on this one. Let's grab the Plasti Dip and cover it back up. It was a good idea, poor execution.
I think it came down to minimal time.
Yeah, no time, but also I think for that, we need a different font. I wanted to try to do the same thing, but I think it needs to be a bolder 3, less square edges, so you can really see what it is. That wasn't it. All right, we're just about wrapped up under here. Got to put that little plastic piece back in, but that's about it. All the nitrous stuff installed, including the pretty cool fogger system. I am looking forward to testing that out in a minute or two. Tim, you want to open that bottle for me?
Oh, I hear it. It's ready. All right, full open.
Are you ready? It's open. Hit it.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it.
Sick.
I like it.
It blows perfectly, like with that V you wanted.
Yeah. Dude, David's gonna love that. He's gonna go through bottles like crazy. We're gonna have to get like a 6-pack of bottles to put in the trunk because he's just gonna be swapping them out all the time. Next step, close the hood, and we gotta take this thing for a drive. I gotta see how fast it is now with the nitrous. Dude, this is gonna be sick.
That is low.
Because the rear is up in the air,
Yeah.
it like makes it even more dramatic.
I didn't know nitrous would do that.
Well, I didn't think so either. I mean, I didn't think we were gonna go drag racing tonight.
Ended up being a bigger problem than expected, huh?
Yeah, we did mess with the links last time, and I guess they're still not happy with what they are at.
Vehicle level is extremely low. No, actually, it's very
it's
high.
extremely high.
I don't know about that.
I don't know these cars. Like, I would bleed the air out and let it drop down and then let it fill up. Because right now the sensor, there's like a potentiometer sensor with a link. And when we jacked it up, it got fully extended and almost like over-centered. And now it's like max kind of locked out there and it doesn't want to drop back into its position. But we can't mechanically get it into the position, or electronically it seems, so. Air suspension problems.
Because it thinks it's super low, it's trying to air up.
Yeah. So yeah, because it's on, it's like, it's the range is like, you know, 2 volts to 4 volts, and now we're at 5 volts or something on the sensor, and it just doesn't know what to do. Like, it's like the air is thinking it's too low, crank it up.
Oh my god, that is jumpy, man.
It's so bouncy.
I swear.
Dude, feels like a lowrider with hydraulics, like no suspension.
That NOS kit looks crazy in the back right there.
Yeah.
Just this angle is insane.
Calling the back wheels came off the ground. Oh, dude. this thing is not happy.
You're telling me
Look at that.
all those are faults?
All the orange ones are faults. All the green ones they're all right.
Oh my god.
Well, when you work on cars, sometimes things don't go your way. Everything went well with the nitrous install. We got the splitter done. We painted the grill. That didn't turn out good, but we fixed that problem. But now we got the suspension fault issue. Basically like maxed out. At ride height, it's like this, but when we jacked the car up, it put it straight, and I think it went past the sensor value. So we're gonna have to mess with this thing a bit. We're gonna pull it back in the shop. We're gonna put it back up. My favorite part about this entire car now is the purge. Tim, hit it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's so sick. Dude, with those headlights too, the Bentley headlights, like pulling up behind you, look in your mirror, and that purge comes out, absolutely insane. I think Dave's gonna love it. I hope he doesn't want to sell the car after the mods that we just did. I think it'll kind of give him some motivation, help him kind of think out the process of turning this thing into a cooler car. We'll see you guys soon.